What's going on, everyone? So I just wanted to show off my CI Flame Blaster that I've been playing in the new Breach League. This is by far my favorite character I've made, and it's the first time I actually did CI right in the entirety of the 3 years I've been playing this game. Normally I play life-based armor characters because they're easier to build, but I decided why the hell not go for a witch. So the character is very simple and budget friendly. It'll be anywhere between 10 to 20 chaos to get it going, and I ran a basic rare wand that I found while leveling all the way up until level 70, so it's really not that hard to build. But you can also push this build all the way up to, 2 to 10x or even further depending on what kind of gear you're looking for. Currently I am level 80. I'm trying to push it to at least level 91, see what I can do from there. If I go further, I might go to 100 if I'm considering on farming this character for currency and stuff so I can build other characters here and there. My defenses are pretty alright. Like, I've been mainly focusing on trying to get fizz damage reduction. Right now I don't have much, but with my totem popped and my basalt flask going, I have 33%, which is pretty solid considering like I don't have that much armor on. I have some ES armor boots that I got that were just really high on ES, and that's why I got them. But the main thing here is to just level out your resistances as much as you can. Really, you need the 75, 75, 75 to push maps and stuff like that. You want to go over, so you get the so you can run the LE weakness maps and stuff like that. Other than that, the passive tree is really simple. You start off going, I went straight spell damage first, so I can level easier. And then you just start going up the ES, and you basically get your ES and AoE nodes as you level. You really don't, it's nothing special. Out of all the things that I do recommend for you doing is to get the energy from within jewel here, so you can convert this entire wheel into 40 energy shield, which is really good. I recommend getting the Essence Surge node because it's very good for your overall defenses, like especially when you're doing Zaro and you don't have a way to regen. Since I am CI, so I have no way to regen, so the best thing to do is to get a faster start of your energy shield recharge so you can actually fight the guy. Other than that, it's really simple. Elemental Overload, so you can proc it off your Orb of Storms. I'm trying to get a bit more nodes here and there. Like, I'm trying to get more Fire Pen, the increased chance to shock and ignite, because free elemental proliferation, which is always a really fucking solid node to get as a witch. But see, I run a Chaos Golem, so I didn't really see Liege of the Primordial to be any good for me. But when I finish Uber, when I get to Uber, I will be getting the Paragon of Calamity, because Reflect is a big problem for this Flame Blast build, because it does deal a lot of damage. Like, you do a lot of damage in one shot. So when you get the whole, like a giant pack that has all of these all the elemental reflect shit, is gonna hit you really goddamn hard, and that's like the worst feeling ever, is when you one-shot yourself. Other than that, like, the tree is very simple. I'm trying to pick up Path of the Savant here for extra damage. I'm gonna be getting Shaper for the mana regen. The pen here. I think that's about it. Oh, I'm gonna get the Firewalker as well, just for the extra capped resist and the fire damage here. Other than that, the tree is very simple. There's not much you should get, but for the gear, this is like where it gets kind of weird, really, because you want to focus more on getting your stats up, because you're on the witch side. so your stats are going to be really hard to get, like your strength and your dex. So on your gear, instead of, you know, maxing out as much energy shield and defense as you can get, you actually kind of want to get stats on it as well. My gear is very simple. I got these 2 rings so early on, but they've been carrying me really well, especially when I farm breaches. These things all get doubled, like the energy shield goes up to 40, which is fucking fantastic. Out of all this gear, the most expensive pieces are going to be your chest piece, Chayula, and Doriani's Catalyst. But you don't really need the Doriani's Catalyst. You can go with like a default or a rare dagger or wand that you find lying around, but I decided to go with Doriani's Catalyst since I had the Chaos lying around, and that 92% increased elemental damage is pretty big, especially when it's double dipping into your burn proc that you do. Eye of Chayula is recommended for this build. It is very recommended for this build, considering that you are at 1 HP, and stun is based off your HP and not your ES, unless you have Skyforth boots or some other way of negating yourself from getting stunned. That is probably going to be the only unique that you need. The gem setup I have going on is it isn't optimized fully, but it does do its job fairly well. So I have Orb of Storms linked with Power Charge on crit and increased crit strikes. Now the reason why I have Power Charge on crit is because of the upkeep of Elemental Overload. Like, it's really good for keeping that up if you have extra crit on your Orb of Storms. I have Spell Totem linked with increased burning and Scorching Ray. Now this is mainly a utility spell. It's not really meant for dealing damage, but it does deal a fair bit of damage when you get your Witchfire Brew going, or some kind of vulnerability going. Like, before I got my Witchfire Brew, I actually had Orb of Storms linked with Curse on hit and vulnerability, so it was still keeping me going. It just wasn't fully what I needed. Like, it's just much more easier to keep the elemental node going if you have the increased crit strikes on you. I do have the portal spell because I really don't like picking up the scrolls, so I have the portal spell here. Flame Dash and Discipline. Flame Dash should be linked to faster casting, but I don't have it linked to faster casting, so Discipline. I have my Concentrated Effect, Leveling, which I switch in with my increased area of effect while I'm bossing or farming. Arctic Armor, Summon Chaos Golem. I was contemplating on either just self-casting Chaos Golem or having it cast when damage taken, but you do get more Fizz damage reduction the higher level it is, and with cast when damage taken, you want it to be a lower level, so you have to take less damage for it to actually cast. It's the cast when damage taken setup is fairly simple. It's Immortal Call and Tempest Shield. Tempest Shield will help you with block, including your Roomies. Roomies is a great pickup. My Flame Blast is linked with Fire Pen, Controlled Destruction, faster casting, and increased area of effect for now. The belt is really simple too. It's nothing special. I was on a life base, but I got, you know, the energy shield on it. I found it while leveling as well. So other than that, you know, everything is fairly simple. You get your Freeze Flask, your Bleed Flask. I got a Poison Flask. Another good roll to have on it would be Curses, like Curse Immune, because being silenced is one of the worst things in the world, and you'll see it like while I'm doing my Zoff run. Like, I get silenced in the middle of the thing, so it like just makes you panic. So that's another good pickup to have on there, but for now I do have Poison because I got the increased recovery speed roll, and that is really good for upkeep on your spell casting. since you can cast like a lot if you have your mana flask keeping up with the cost of the spell. So that's always a good thing to have. But yeah, that's my build. It's really simple. I switched to CI at around 6k ES. Before then I was just running Energy Shield and Life Hybrid. So that's when I recommend switching. Yeah, that's about it. I'll leave you guys with the video of my Zoth run. Thanks for watching.